It is time. The Global Amazing Shake tests the poise, confidence, charisma, soft skills, and etiquette of the most talented students in the world. And in the end, only one winner will be left standing. Who will it be? Stay tuned.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Global Amazing Shake competition. My name is Kirk Brown, Chief Development and Communications Officer here at RCA.
And I'm Kim Bearden, the co-founder and executive director, and we are so excited to be bringing to you live the Gauntlet round.
Yes, it is incredible. There are 350 students here, plus their chaperones. Over 600 folks have flown in here to Atlanta at the Ron Clark Academy for the 2024 Global Amazing Shake competition. As Kim mentioned, this is the Gauntlet. You hear the gongs going off, and students are in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of the competition, but in the middle of the gauntlet.
In the middle of the gauntlet round. And we have guests here. It truly is a global competition. We have students from as far away as Germany.
Yes.
We have a huge contingency here from Honduras, Canada, all over the United States, and these students are here, they're prepared, they're ready to go. So if you're just joining us, you're not even sure what the Amazing Shake is, this is our Super Bowl of soft skills.
Yes, it is really incredible. Here at RCA, we really feel like students should be prepared for opportunities today and tomorrow, giving them those leadership skills, practicing those soft skills, that firm handshake, eye contact, presentation skills, je ne sais quoi.
Yes, we love to say that word.
We do love to say that. And so we're very intentional about teaching students those skills and getting them equipped so that they are prepared. And so this competition now is in schools all across the country and around the world, and they come here to Atlanta to compete against the very best. Their peers who have done exceptionally well in schools everywhere.
That's right. The Global Amazing Shake started very simply as the Amazing Shake here at the Ron Clark Academy, where we wanted our students to be able to feel confident walking into any space, know that they belong there, and be able to speak what they think and to be able to share their ideas with other people. And so we started off with just having local business people come to our school and meet our students one by one and give them a score. Well, it grew and grew because people in our business community realized these are the kind of skills we want our future employees, our future workforce to have.
Yes.
And so it became a huge part of the Ron Clark Academy, and so we decided to share it with other schools. Now we've given tools to schools all over the world, and these schools have implemented their own Amazing Shakes, even their own district ones, even regional ones, and their top competitors are here today and tomorrow to be competing for the coveted Global Amazing Shake crown.
Oh my goodness, and it's going to be a wild weekend. The students came in yesterday. It was so incredible, Kim, to see them, their excitement, their energy. They came in, they were already practicing those handshakes, the eye contact. I mean, they came in killing it. And so yesterday was all about practice rounds, and the big opening session, we had some speakers. First of all, Dante Beaumont. What an incredible student, our reigning Global Amazing Shake champion.
Right.
He's not competing this year, he's hosting it, and last year he got on stage and he just did a phenomenal job. We're so proud of him.
Yes, just the command of the stage, the ease with which he spoke to everyone, he poured advice into these students, and it was incredible. I mean, such an incredible, worthy champion. And
oh my God.
He made us so very, very proud. And we also had another Amazing Shake legend from the past, Zion Wynn, an incredible student who was formerly at Princeton and just graduated from there. He had come to the Ron Clark Academy originally, went on to the Macaulay School, full ride to Princeton. He's now at Harvard obtaining his master's degree in education. He came as well and talked about some things for the students to keep in mind. Because what's happening right now behind us is a round where students have 1 minute at each station.
Yes.
And they know what's going to happen at some, but others, they have no idea. So when the students walk up, they are actually going through a simulation today. Today we have themed the Gauntlet, where it's a trip to Atlanta.
Atlanta, welcome to Atlanta.
Very fitting. And so the very first station they attend, it's like they're checking in at the airport, and so they have to go up and meet the people at the ticketing counter, but then of course there's going to be a problem with their reservation.
Yeah.
and can't find their name. How do they handle that? Do they maybe even give, oh, perhaps you need my middle name? Are there things like that to be able to engage and see how they handle just a slightly stressful situation off the bat? And then from there, they actually board a plane where there are actual plane seats, and they sit down next to someone on the plane and engage in conversation. Now here's the thing. We want students to be able to shake a hand, have firm handshake, eye contact, but also to be natural and authentic. And so when you're on a plane, it's a little different. It's not as formal. It's like, well, hello, how are you
Exactly.
doing? So if they're sitting there like this and everything on the
right.
plane, there's a great shot right there you can see. So there's one of our wonderful community members, Stephen Brown, is one of the judges. And there we have the student there, number 125. We'll have to see where he's from. And he's engaging in conversation.
Yeah, and so how do the students navigate those natural experiences? You're not going to walk up like you said, Kim, they're not going to walk up and try to shake your hand, hey, how are you, like it's an interview. No, you're just having conversation, genuinely being yourself.
Here they are at the Delta check-in
Yes,
counter.
and we have real Delta flight attendants, and which is so incredible because it brings this experience to life even
Absolutely.
that much more.
They know what they're doing. It's
They know
very
exactly what they're doing. I mean, Delta is the best of the best. We love them, and so we're so excited that they're here. And as you see there, they're walking on the plane. I love how she just sat down right here, and she's she's folding her arms, just engaging in conversation. She didn't walk up all stiff and try to have an interview.
Right.
I loved how that interaction just happened right there on the screen.
That's part of this, is that the students, after they go to each station, they hand a card to the judge and they are scored on those different items about their eye contact, their poise, their charisma, but really also, are they authentic?
Yes.
Because we do teach our students, the certain skills, but we want to make sure that they don't come across as robotic,
Exactly.
as fake, as
Right.
too rehearsed, almost too polished, where it seems like you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
The kids who do the best in this competition are the ones who are still kids. They're having fun,
Yep.
they're relaxed, because that's how we want them to navigate the world.
That is exactly how we want them to navigate the world, and we impressed upon them during the opening session with the speeches and in their crews as well. Just walk in here, just be yourself,
Yes.
let your personality shine through, and the judges will see who you truly are. And so that's really what this competition is about. How do you show up as yourself? How do you highlight those characteristics, those attributes? Know how to walk into a room with confidence and really show out your best self. That's what this competition is about. Not to try to be someone who you think you're supposed to be, but to really be who you really are.
Absolutely, and you can see the Coca-Cola station right now. Now,
Yes.
this is a station where the students have been given a little prep. They've been told that they have to come up with a 60-second commercial advertising something for Coca-Cola. So you can see
I love this.
love the
What
drama.
is this commercial?
I love the
wish
drama.
I had a microphone here because
Oh, she just even took a
she
big
is
deep breath and
killing
sighed
it.
because it was so good. It makes me
Wow.
want something to drink right now.
Parents, school members, chaperones that are watching, I know that's your baby right there, and you are so proud. I know she got high scores there because
Just the body
watching
language alone. She came in and was very confident. You
Yeah.
could tell that she had prepared. And then the station right after the Coca-Cola station, they had some prep time for as well. They have to prepare a news broadcast about a current event. It's only 60 seconds, but how would they convey that news story on camera if they were an anchor at CNN? And so there we can see that same student because it was the next station. There she is. You can tell she's very prepared. They can't have notes or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just have to be in there ready to give a news story that's noteworthy and obviously something that's engaging to the audience.
I love that, and you see the nod to CNN there, which was headquartered here in Atlanta, which is a significant part of Atlanta culture with the CNN. They're moving from Atlanta, but still it's iconic to the city, and so you see that CNN's there on the screen, which I love, and the students are just coming in there and taking control. I love it, and that's what this competition is about. Part of it is preparation. Did they do what they were supposed to do, receiving the information that we sent over to them? And then part of it's how do you respond on the spot as well?
And that response is important as well because we are dealing with students here. We want them to have a good time. There's some things in there a little bit fun just to kind of throw them off as well.
Yeah.
For example, a landmark in Atlanta is the varsity. So they go up to the varsity and they're supposed to go to the counter and order food, but everything they ask for, there's going to be a very, very rude cashier. Not that the cashiers at the varsity are rude. They're actually wonderful. But just to see how they handle it, they're out of everything. Anything, oh, we don't have that. I'd like fries. Oh, we're out of those. And just to see how they handle that pressure in playing along. Are they still polite? Are they still engaged with them? Are they still doing a good job? And we got to give a shout out to our volunteers. Now, these are not Roland Clark Academy employees. These are community members from all across the Metro Atlanta area. And I'll tell you what, Kirk and also from our development office, Danny Zayas, incredible job. How many volunteers does it take to pull this off?
Oh my goodness, hundreds. So we have
Hundreds.
over 250 volunteers over the weekend, Kim, who are going to be here, spending hours here, interacting with the students, engaging with them, pouring into them, scoring them. And it's an undertaking, and it's a very intentional process of reaching out to companies and saying, hey, can you make this an employee engagement experience? And hey, can you sponsor around and all this? And so it's been great to see the response from everyone that's here. We got folks from Coca-Cola, we got folks from Delta Airlines, as you saw, Truist Bank, Inspire Brands. I mean, they're representing the entire philanthropic, the business community here in Atlanta, and we're just so thrilled that they're all here.
It is amazing, and I'll tell you what though, once we get them here for one amazing shake, we got them.
We got them, they're hooked.
They always want to come back because they're so impressed by these young people and how, if you're ever worried, what about the future workforce? What's going to happen with kids today? Well, this room will give you hope because the 350 kids who are here last night, engaging with them, it just blew me away, so proud. Now here you can see a map of the Gauntlet round. Our wonderful art teacher, CJ Wallace, brilliant, hand sketched that, every bit of that for us to kind of show you all the different stations that the students have. And so one of the ones that they love, or they will love, I'm certain, but it's going to be challenging, because how do you keep focus, is the Porsche driving experience is here in Atlanta, and Porsche, and I do know for a fact that it is pronounced Porsche because I did the driving experience and I verified, because everybody calls it a Porsche. I said, I need to know definitively, it is Porsche. You're welcome.
It is Porsche, yes. And I did it as well, and it is Porsche, so I can confirm.
Yes, so you're welcome. Okay, so the person, when it comes up, look, she's doing a great job. She she's crashing all over.
What is happening?
So they're in the simulator. But the prompt was, I'm interested in hiring you to be my driver. Could you show me your driving skills while they're also talking? So, but she did it right because she's crashing all over.
Crashing all over.
Cute, just sitting there engaging with
She's like, look, I'm not breaking my eye contact. You're about to get this conversation.
And that's the hard part, is that, especially, some of these kids are probably better at video games than others, but I love that we're seeing the driving skills, maybe not so much, but are they still talking to the judge and being charming? Or will there be some kids that are so focused on the game that they kind of lose sight? Look at his face. Oh, look at the contestant. Look at she is.
She's in it.
I love it. She's really good. I think she's oversteering. I think she's oversteering.
Right. So I'm wondering how the judges responded to this one, right? She's still talking, but there's no eye contact here, which is an important aspect of the Amazing Shake.
Right.
But I don't know. So we'll see. It looks like
that's a hard one. So we throw some things there because these art kids, we want them just to be memorable.
Memorable, yes. I think this is the best Gauntlet we've ever had, Kim. And got to give a shout out to Hutch, Cookie, Ethan, the whole team, Latasha Lewis, who did the graphics, Cam, everyone who came together to bring this to life. I think this is the best Gauntlet ever. You walk around and you really feel like you're walking through the city of Atlanta. The graphics come to life, the immersive experiences with the video games and all that. It's just incredible. So I love it. Shout out to the team. I love
it. And here's, representation of the Atlanta Beltline and being here at Piedmont Park. And so they sit down, they're having a lovely time with the picnic.
I love
that. But
they're
ask about conservationism and the park and things like that. And they knew that they would have to know some things about that as well. So just to see the ease. Now you'll see that sometimes there's two students doing the same thing. Well, because
let's talk about that.
We have so many students competing this year that in order to get everyone through the Gauntlet round, because it's one person at one station at a time, we have replicas of every station. So you talk about logistical magic and our team and how smart they are. So there's actually two pathways that are identical, and students are on one of those two pathways.
They are, and that is such a clever idea too, because if we had just one,
we'd be here all week.
Trying to do the Gauntlet.
We would never get through.
And so students are going through identical stations like Kim mentioned, and so that's incredible. Now, after they leave this round, this is the first round, round one of the Amazing Shake. It's the Gauntlet. We're going to have the students then go to the Work the Room station, right? The Work the Room round. Now, in this station, the students will have 25 minutes, like a networking mixer, to walk around, introduce themselves, get to know as many judges as possible, and get scored there. And then the competition will continue on from there. But we'll have top students who score the highest in the Gauntlet round, which we're in, and then we'll also have top students who score the highest in the Work the Room, and then we'll combine the highest scores from both to name our top 50 later on today.
And the Work the Room, I'll tell you what, that is a skill. I know all of you listening know that if you can master that, oh my gosh.
Wow.
First of all, the anxiety, even as adults, sometimes you walk into certain spaces and there's all these people, you're supposed to be networking, you're supposed to be meeting as many people as possible. Or maybe even navigating through the room to meet that one person that you really are there to meet.
Seriously.
How do you do that? How do you engage in conversation? The way that the scoring works for the Gauntlet is the more people you meet, the more scores you get, the better you do. So although you might be a great conversationalist and engage with one person for a long time, The Work the Room Challenge is different. In the Work the Room Challenge, it's about making sure you meet as many people as possible.
Yes.
Now, I can hear some beautiful singing.
I can hear some beautiful singing happening right now as well. At the Fox Theater, students are doing like a talent search, right? And they're
Yes.
trying to find who the best students are that have these amazing, heard an incredible voice over
I
there.
hate that we missed
I
whose
know.
face that was, but she did a great job. So the students did know that you have 40 seconds to showcase the talent, but you can't come walking in here with a drum set or something
Right.
like that. It's anything. You could have a prop if it fits in your
In your
pocket.
pocket.
And look at this young lady has business cards. Oh,
wow.
She's doing a card trick.
Oh, wow.
How clever is that?
That is clever. I mean, if
Because
it's
she
really
could fit those cards in
her pocket. Yeah.
I love it.
I love that too. I would, yeah. If I was a judge, I'd be like, whoa. And if the trick was really good, she'd be getting all high scores from me. So let's see. I wonder if we can tell what she's doing. Did the judges like
She's
that?
got a big
Wow,
smile
the
and she
judges
got
are
applause.
clapping.
The
They
trick
love it.
worked, see?
So it looks like she's going to get high scores there. So parents and chaperones, schools who are watching live, go ahead and shout out your student here that's on the screen. Show her some love. She's got a pink blazer on, so throw some pink hearts in the comments to show her some love. That is incredible. I love that.
That's right, Kirk. And we do post these lives up again on our Facebook page after the show, and so kids can go back and see the Gauntlet round and watch this. So anytime you want to shout out any of your students, give them some love, shout out your school, shout out your state, all of that, so that they can see that you're here watching them and cheering for them.
Yes, and we are live here on Facebook as well as live on YouTube. So I know a lot of your students are YouTubers. They love to watch YouTube, so they can watch the live back on.
Does anybody even watch
Live.
television anymore? I think
No.
it's all about. Well,
I
I
think
do,
it's
but I think the
It's all
young kids,
YouTube.
it's all
Yeah.
YouTube. Yes.
Streaming. Real quick commercial break. I want to give a shout out to my wife. Today is our anniversary. So shout out to
Shawnee's,
you.
happy anniversary, love.
Thank you. Shout out to the team. Yeah,
Yes.
so
How many years is it, man?
8 years.
8 years.
Incredible.
And their wedding day was one of the most epic, beautiful ones I've ever been to. I can't believe that was 8 years ago,
Yeah,
though.
I got in the car this morning and there was a card right on my dashboard. I'm like, always thinking about everything.
You know what?
Yeah.
And here's the see, isn't she awesome? She's incredible. And he says this is March Madness in his family because it's Shawnee's birthday.
Maxwell's
his
birthday
son
was on the
Maxwell's
19th.
birthday. It's his anniversary.
Yeah, so there's like 4 things
It's
happening.
all right in a row.
Global Amazing Shake, so it's March Madness.
It's March Madness at the Brown household.
Yeah.
I love that. You have to give the wife the shout out.
Yes,
she
I just
deserves
wanted to do that.
She deserves the love.
I
She's
appreciate you.
awesome.
So if you are just joining us, you are live here at the Ron Clark Academy for the Global Amazing Shake competition. We are here for round 1 of the competition in the Gauntlet. So you'll see us, the screen sort of rotating through some of the different stations. As the students are going through, they have 60 seconds at each of these stations to make an impression on the judges and get scored, and they move on, and we'll have the top student winners from this round announced a little bit later this afternoon. From here, they'll go on to the Work the Room for another round, and the competition continues from there.
Yeah, we can't tell you all the surprises that are going to happen ahead
my
of time
goodness,
because
yeah.
students can't find out, but we have some good ones coming as each round gets narrowed down and narrowed down and narrowed down. Now, we have 350 students here competing, but we also have over 300 adults here to support them.
Yeah.
We have a combination of parents and school teachers and chaperones from all over who have escorted these students here. And so they're able to watch. There's a gallery area where they're able to watch their students in the Gauntlet. Also, there's a place where they can watch the Work the Room. And also some of the competitions.
There they go, right there.
There's the group they're watching this.
Y'all wave, y'all are on TV.
Y'all wave,
Y'all wave.
So they're watching their students go through the round right now, and then they'll watch them in the Work the Room. They can look down from above, down into the rotunda area to be able to see that and be able to cheer for them. Also, though, many of the educators who are here are trying to figure out how to either ramp up or begin Amazing Shake programs at their schools. So we also have workshops going on where we have panel discussions with schools who've implemented at their schools and how they went about doing it, how to raise funds for your Global Amazing Shake,
Yes.
you know, the kinds of things that you need to do to bring your community together to make this a reality for you.
Yeah.
But we do have resources that we share for free as well.
We do. We have lots of resources on our website, theamazingshake.com. And so if you are watching this and you're like, what is this competition about? Or if you're like, okay, like Kim said, how do I bring this back to my school? You can go to theamazingshake.com. and find all the resources, how to score your students, how to prepare students. We got videos there that you can show and help to get your students ready. How do you score the competition? How do you get volunteers, judges, get the press involved? All the tips, tricks, resources that you need are right there on theamazingshake.com. So make sure you check that out.
Even how do you teach the handshake the right way? We even have the soundtrack of the gong every 60 seconds. So you can hear the gong.
We've thought about everything for you.
Yeah, and there's even graphics there that you could download to do it's like a starter kit, so you can do your very first one.
Most definitely.
And we love it because if you even go on social media and you look at #TheAmazingShake, you will see things that schools are doing everywhere. And some of the things blow us away, how clever, how unique, how different they are.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a few other things that are happening in this room too. So one of the ones I love is that they have to go up and give a toast like they're at a special dinner, but we have cutouts of Justin Bieber, Ludacris, and Usher at the table.
Yes, which are Atlanta icons, right?
Well, we've had 2 out of the 3 here. Now, Ludacris and Usher have both been here. Extraordinarily
There
wonderful.
they go, right there on the screen.
There we go. So it looks like Usher's really sitting there, does it?
It really does.
So,
we got Usher there, Ludacris, Justin Bieber. I mean, it doesn't get more Atlanta than that.
Hutch, who is what we call the chief magic maker, who helps bring this together, he had the 3 of them in the back seat driving here, and he took a picture, and it looked like he really had the 3 of them sitting in his back seat.
I love it.
We love that.
Oh my goodness.
So very fun, very fun. Also, we want our students to have just basic interview skills. If you're going to apply for a job, what is that like? And so there's a Google station where they're asked that, they're told that they're looking for people who are creative and innovative. Please give some examples of ways that you bring creativity or innovation to the workplace and what some of your gifts are and what some of your talents. So those are great questions. So you can see these students, they've been taught how to, to sit, how do you lean in, are you awkward in the seat? Are you using your hand gestures with intention? All those types of things, leaning in, are you, a good conversationalist, but also is there good content to what you're saying?
Yes, that is so important, right? Because the judges want to know that you are actually here in the moment, that we're having conversation, that you are thinking about the things that you're saying and not just trying to think about the next and not really in the moment. And so those keys, those tips, those characteristics are so key for the students to keep in mind during the competition.
That's right. And then when they go to the station that says Truist, the question is, at Truist, we are interested in helping people grow financially. What advice would you give to someone who is a really poor saver, someone who intends to shop all the time and buy things that they don't necessarily need? What advice would you give them to help them grow their wealth?
Wow, yes, and we all know that, sometimes folks need more tips to grow their finances and to make sure that they're saving and managing their money well. And students should know about those things now as well. Be thinking about, how do I manage money at a young age so that they're not waiting until they're adults when it's too late.
I love it, and those beautiful women that are working, they're all from Truist Bank. Did you see, I don't know if you saw how they were exemplifying what we want kids to do.
Oh, yeah.
They were so intent and listening and leaning in, and you could tell that just like really, really focused on what the student was saying, which I just love that.
I love that
because they're modeling what it is that we want the students to do.
Absolutely, and the students can see examples, right? We always say that role playing and modeling for students are just great ways for them to learn. And so what a great way for them to come in the competition and see it live and in person, an example of that as they're going through. So that's just fantastic.
I love it. And the interesting thing also is that the students were given some different topics that they should know something about, but they don't know what the question is going to be about it. And those might show up in other rounds as well, like in the debate rounds and things like that, current events, things that are happening in our world. Students are not scored on what they believe because we want students to have varied opinions, but how are they able to convey those thoughts and those ideas?
So important. How do you convey the thought? How do you think about what you're going to say? Do you stop and pause for a moment, put your words together and then speak? Or are you rambling and saying ums and ahs throughout? How do you convey that thought in a way that really comes through to the judges?
So would it be interesting, for example, if a student went to the Truist station and then they started to talk about something about financial literacy, about a way to grow their wealth, where they display some kind of knowledge about something that they had researched, that would be good advice, not just, I tell them not to buy so much. How are they able to really give a more in-depth, thoughtful answer to that that shows some knowledge about financial literacy?
And these are the top students across the country and around the world. And so I know they did some preparation to get here today. Now here's
another
singing.
singer.
Right. So can we get a camera at the Fox Theater station? There's a student singing that I just hear this voice. Let's listen in.
Can we get someone over to here we go.
Wow. I don't know who that student is, but I'm sure parents that are watching, Y'all know who that is, so shout her out in the comments. That voice
we
is
know
beautiful.
where she's from, though.
Yes.
So trademark Corsicana Middle School from Texas. They come every year, and they always got those black cowboy hats.
I love it.
Love it. They
Signature.
walk in. It's their signature, and they're always prepped, ready, fierce competitors.
Yes.
And so when they came in with those black cowboy hats last night, I said, Corsicana's in the building.
In the
again.
building. So shout out to y'all. Go ahead and throw some hearts in the comments to show some love to your school, your community, and those who are represented here at Global Competition.
And then we have a young lady right now. It looks like she's showing her knowledge of sign language and either singing or speaking while she does that.
Wow.
See, isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
I love how this creates a platform for students to show those talents and those skills, right? Because a lot of times when we think about how do we show up in places, it's all about professional skills and, which are important, but sometimes we have talents as well. We don't always get to showcase that.
Right.
So I love that the Global Competition gives them a stage and a moment to shine and to lean into those skills and those talents.
And that's right. We've had kids say, well, what if I don't do this? I can't sing, I can't dance. It's okay. We even say you can memorize a speech, a monologue. I love that girl did the card trick.
Yeah.
I would remember that.
I would definitely remember
because
that.
How many kids are going to do a card trick? Maybe others, but I think that's a novel, unique, clever thing to do.
Very unique.
She took the time to learn how to do that.
Yes.
So,
No, that was
and you are the life of the party when you know card tricks. So that's
No, seriously. Because when we went to Utah with the students, Ron had us there hooked in Mr. Anderson's cabin, just like, what? How did you do that?
Right.
That is crazy.
So
I got to tell you, Angelo and I have a card trick. He's my partner in crime for this.
Oh, it takes two people to pull it off.
It takes two people to
You
pull
have
it
to have
off.
an assistant. Angelo is your lovely assistant.
It's my lovely assistant, so we could,
You can only do it when Angelo's here. I don't know, Kirk. That's hard to pull off. He's going to have to be with you all the time.
But I'm just saying, if he's there, you're going to
You might need a couple more plants in on that one.
Okay. We'll figure it out. But Ron is the master card trick person.
He really does.
Yeah.
He really does. I've never seen anything like it. It's wonderful. So here you can see these young ladies, and here they are. They look like they're ready to go. And now I know that some of y'all have been watching going, why is there a slide? Well, first of all, these are students in middle school, and who doesn't want a slide? And the slide is a symbol at our school for creativity. Not that slide, but if you enter the lobby of the Ron Kark Academy, we have two huge slides, and we say that in life, everybody takes the stairs. Everybody does things the same way. Why not do things differently? Step out of your box.
Yes.
Slide.
Yes.
And so we have a slide here because when they come down it, first of all, they just got to go for it. Some of them may have a little fear of heights, but when they get down it, immediately they have to compose themselves again, and they're actually, told that, you got to visit the slide, but now you're at the Georgia Aquarium. If you could be over any exhibit at the Georgia Aquarium, any of the sea animals here, which ones and why? And they have to be able to talk with some knowledge about that. So they have to know some things about, what is in the Georgia Aquarium, and to be able to speak to that.
I love that. You got to have a slide. It's double entendre or double meaning. I don't know if it's entendre, but double meaning. Like you said, here at RCA, but then also it's fun. Kids gotta. This is an intense competition.
We always throw a little wrench in there.
Yeah.
One year we had a mechanical bull, but we had kids flying off and hitting the wall.
Yeah, that one was a bit much.
Slide is safer.
Much safer. I love that.
It was a safe one. They landed on a big mat, but it was pretty funny. But the funny thing was that all the adults were the ones that wanted to get on the mechanical bull. They were working harder to get on the mechanical bull. They kept saying, "Can we do it?" Which speaks to this. We have many adults who come here and say, "Could you have an adult amazing shake? We want to be able to go through it
every year."
I wish that we had the manpower, the bandwidth to be able to do that.
I know. We would kill that. I think we definitely would kill that. It'd be a lot of fun.
Because really what Ron said last night in the opening to the students, and this is so very true, yes, you're here, it's a competition, but really this is an opportunity to practice.
Yeah.
And every one of us has been in a situation where you might feel a little bit awkward, you might feel unsure of yourself, you might not feel as confident walking into the space depending on who is in the room, and we feel like everybody should have that confidence. And so just being able to practice and see how you would do in different scenarios, lots of fun. Now, if you are a school and you're thinking, we wanted to do an amazing shake, but this is off the chain back here. When we started, it was very, very simple.
Yeah.
We asked community members to come in, but all they had to do was just show up, and kids went from person to person, introduced themselves, met them, and then they moved on. We would throw some wrenches in there, like perhaps a student went around the corner and someone dropped all the pencils on the floor. Well, are you so concerned with shaking the person's hand you leave the pencils? Like the natural thing would be to do, let me help you.
Let me help you with that, yeah.
Oh, and by the way, my name is Kim. So how do they handle that? Or one of the ones that still honestly would be my hardest one is they engage with someone, they walk around the corner and someone's there with a clipboard and says, what is the name of the person you just met?
Yep.
Because remembering someone's name is
It's
an
so
important skill.
important, right?
Right?
Yeah, and it just shows, were you really there in the moment to learn who they are and to have that conversation, or was it all just about a score?
Right.
And so that turning the corner and asking that name will trip them up every time.
And so what is also valuable, though, is that the reflection piece of this. So
Yes.
last night after the practice rounds, the judges were on the stage and they gave feedback about these are things you did well, these are things not as well. For example, a great piece of feedback, they get a score on the card, but when that gong goes off, you don't want to all of a sudden become a different person, and then run off because you're so worried about getting the score and going on. You still want to say, thank you so much, nice to meet you. You got to do it quickly, but don't be so about getting the score that all of a sudden your whole personality changes.
Just switches in an instant.
Yeah, because you're moving on to the next thing. You've got to gracefully, quickly, swiftly depart, say thank you, and move on. Those types of things. When you're asked a question, listen to what the question is asking
Listen to the question before responding.
Yes.
So important.
And clarify it if you don't know. I'm sorry, could you clarify that for me? Or are you asking me this? Instead of just going off on a tangent that had nothing to do about the
It
question.
had nothing to do. And some of the judges made that feedback last night, Kim, about how some of the students did that at the end of when the gong went off, how their smiles was dropped and they just took the card and ran off and didn't sort of gracefully end that conversation.
Right.
That is a skill, and it's not necessarily a skill, but that's genuinely who you are. It should be about thanking that person and being in the moment and then gracefully moving on, not just thank you and then moving on,
That was a big message. So Zion Wynn, who spoke last night, the RCA alumni I spoke of, who is currently at Harvard right now, he talked about one of the greatest things to do throughout this competition is to show gratitude.
Show gratitude.
And be authentic with that gratitude, not only to the judges, but to the people that you meet and also to the chaperones who have brought you here. I do want to mention, though, what we didn't speak of yet is that the opportunity that these students are having to bond with kids from all across the country, across the globe. So our students last night, after arriving and after the opening session, they actually went into a room, what was called their crew room. Every student is randomly sorted into a different crew. Each crew has a different colored t-shirt. They represented by a different letter. They got to spend some time getting to know one another and a little bit about each other, and they had to come up with a crew cheer, something to show their spirit for each other. And so they're supporting one another all throughout this competition. We all gathered in the rotunda. The crews all gave shout outs and cheers for each other. It was beautiful. And so these students, some have traveled here all by themselves. They're their district winner. They're kind of nervous. They don't have a friend here. They have already bonded and made friends with other kids who are here to support them. And that's really a huge part of the beauty here.
I love that. We did that for the first time last year, and it was just transformational for the experience of the students at the competition. It's one thing to come here to Atlanta, to leave your city, represent your city, and then be in this beautiful building, but then to build those connections, those genuine, those amazing connections with your peers, just took that whole experience to the next level. And last night, seeing how they bonded so instantly already, today you're gonna see how they cheer for each other. And it's so heartwarming to see. You'll see a student who moves on and a student from an entirely different city or state cheering on that student because they're in the same crew. That's what the competition's about.
That's what it's about. And it's not about just behaving in a certain way in the Gauntlet. It's about how are you navigating throughout the building. So, we had food. We had 600 and some odd people in the building. We have all these different sessions going on. And I loved seeing kids come up and say things like, Miss Bearden, can I help you? Would you like some help with that? Or Miss Bearden, do you need some help with emptying the trash was overflowing? And things like that. It does little moments like that just shows. That is Dante. He is our current Global Amazing Shake champion. It looks like there he's giving some advice to one of the students before he goes through the gauntlet round. Just give him a little pep talk. Oh, and now he's moved him to the next spot. So he's just giving them pep talks there to kind of coach them, help them, and honestly, I love it. They're kind of acting like he's a little bit of a celebrity at times, and I love it. But you can see how confident he is, right? I know you guys want to hire him. Now, he's only entering the 9th grade, but he could run a lot of corporations right now if he wanted to.
He's got that sharp suit on, too, looking so clean.
Looks like $1 million. He sure does. Now, there was an opportunity for students to earn some bonus points prior to entering.
Yes, so we have idols here that were hidden all across the building yesterday, just to kind of make it fun again for the students, but also give them an opportunity to earn extra points in the Gauntlet this morning. And so some of the students have the idols around their neck, and as they exit the Gauntlet, they can turn in their scorecard along with their idol and earn 5 additional points to their Gauntlet score. And so that gives the students another leg up to make it further in the competition that they may not have, or push them over the edge. So I love that aspect of it.
So it was so fun. It's kind of paying homage to Ron Clark was actually on Survivor, and so he's all about searching for those idols. And so it's a necklace that the students, if they find it, but they couldn't go through drawers or try to pull anything off the wall. They were hidden almost in plain sight. Yeah. But there were 27 of them, and the students were all over the building wandering, and they didn't find all of them. And it was actually comical because in the closing session, Mr. Clark, I guess because he's tuned into idols, he looked down and he saw one in the middle of that that nobody saw.
Right in front.
It was right underneath
the
feet and the
ear. Like, oh, I found one, thank you.
So
and all the chaperones are freaking out.
One, so that was another piece too. You can't have 2. Once you get one, that's it. So if you see another one, that was an opportunity for some of these kids to bond with a new friend and say, there's one of the idols, go get it. And so it was beautiful to see that kind of thing happening as well.
Exactly. It's all about the teamwork, the camaraderie. It just adds to the experience. It's about genuine, just good character.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to give a shout out to some of the schools who are represented here in the competition. Again, schools are here from 29 states across the country.
As far away as Hawaii.
As far away as Hawaii. Also from Honduras, there are 20 or so students from
the Macris School, they come ready to compete as well because our global champion.
Yes, Camila Diaz. Yes,
he was actually the global champion in 2020, and so they are prepared.
They are very prepared, and actually Camila's sister is here competing with this delegation from Honduras as well. So that was exciting. I don't know if you remember in 2020 when we announced Camila as the global champion, her sister ran into the room on the camera and gave her a hug. And so she came up to me yesterday and she said, I don't know if you remember, but like a little girl that ran into the room and gave Camila a hug, that was me. I was like, what? Oh my goodness.
So in 2020, like everything else, the Global Shake was actually virtual, and we had students from all over the world. We would do Zoom interviews and all kinds of different challenges, all virtually. So as you can imagine, that was something else. And Camila, she brought sunshine to everybody. We loved it. Yes.
So I want to give a shout out to Albertville Intermediate School in Alabama. Shout out to you all for being here. Alamanu Elementary in Hawaii, thank you for being here. And also Alamanu Middle School. So again, y'all are from all across the country.
All across the country. And some of these schools have so many students here. I mean, a Dream Lake Elementary School from Florida has a huge contingency here. Greene County Schools, a huge contingency. Some of these schools are listed as their district because they had a district competition, and then they took the winners from each school. They were able to receive the funding to be here. And so we're so excited for them. But we have Waluki School District in Washington State.
Yes, Waluki. They come deep every year.
All the way from Washington.
Yes, and it's so interesting because they've grown each year. I think they start out with 8 students coming to the competition, and now they're up to 20 or so students. So it grows for these schools every year.
Every single year. Village Park Elementary, dear friends of ours. We love them. They have a contingency here. Just so many schools. Fertitta Middle School, Leadership Academy. We have so many schools. New Vision Charter School has a huge group. There are so many students who are here, and these are the best of the best. And shout out to the teachers that couldn't come, that are back home, that help with these students, help get them prepared. And y'all, they are suited and booted. These kids look fantastic. They're in their professional business attire. And sometimes we know that takes a whole community effort too to get the plane tickets to get the students here, to get the professional attire to get them here. And so just really grateful for those companies, those organizations, those community members who came together to sponsor students, teams of students to be here, the school districts who believed enough in what we're doing as well. You're doing tremendous things, because I promise you the students who are here, they will remember this weekend for the rest of their lives.
For the rest of their lives. So
absolutely.
Shout out to you all. Go ahead and throw your school, shout your school out in the comments for those who are watching. Shout your students out as well. Because as we mentioned, they're going to go back and watch this, and they're going to see the comments come up as well. And so make sure you shout them out and show them some love as well. And thank y'all for doing everything that you do to get your students here and to support them during this weekend. Incredible.
So again, if you're wondering how do I start an Amazing Shake at my school, if you go to theamazingshake.com, there is a starter kit there. There's information about the program, and then you perhaps can have students that you bring to the Global Amazing Shake here in Atlanta that we have every single year. So what we're going to be doing shortly is we're going to be signing off, but we're going to break for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back again live, and we're going to actually be on the Gauntlet floor. So we can get a little bit closer to these stations. You can actually see a little bit more of what's happening, maybe kind of listen in just a little bit, and just see the kind of pressure these kids are under, but also the poise and charisma with which they handle it.
Yes, now before we head off, I want to make sure that y'all share this live out. So go ahead and share this live to your page. There's a share button there. Share it and then comment done so that we can get as many people in here supporting and seeing what's happening here in Atlanta to support your students for the Global Amazing Shake competition.
And also shout out any community sponsors, anybody who sponsored your students to come here.
Shout them out, yes.
Give them their flowers because they are all helping make it happen.
Most definitely. All right, y'all, so that's going to be it here from the Gauntlet at the desk. And as Kim mentioned, we're going to come back from the Gauntlet floor to show y'all a little bit more about what's happening on the floor. So we'll see y'all here in just a little bit.
Good night.